allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation. Liberia, Liberia, of Liberia is flying all the time. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia. The flag of Liberia is flying all the time. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia. The red on the flag is for bravery. The white on the flag is for purity. The star is for republic. The blue sea is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The red on the flag is for bravery. The white on the flag is for purity. The star is for republic. The blue sea is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 million of people we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shining evermore. Of Liberia is flying all the time. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia.
Well, indeed, Liberia is such a great nation for all of us as Liberians.
My faith, I will rise and heal the nation. Liberia will rise again.
Liberia will rise again. Certainly. It is just because the thoughts of many Liberians that got Liberia like this and think that Liberia would not progress. But we are hopeful and committed to the process. That one day Liberia will be a better nation. I want to say good afternoon to you, wherever you are. Welcome to the show Bits and Pieces, a regular afternoon show that runs from Monday to Friday, 2 to 5 p.m. And of course, today I'm here up to 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, I zoom out. Well, I say good afternoon to all of you, and thanks for joining us. Veteran journalist John Cully. I'm told you, following the broadcast. You know, I call him Zima Nepave. He's very much entertaining. When you listen to the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative, when you listen to many of their shows, you know, or the dialogue, you know, he's very much entertaining, and he's good at educating people. Whenever you follow his broadcast and you have a conversation with him, you know, it was yesterday when we had a conversation, and he told me that he was doing some, you know, work for me, so I need to pay. So I said, "Well, how would I pay when I'm doing a promotion for you?" We burst in laugh, eh? But then he said, "You journalists these days, you guys always love to work for money." I said, "Yeah." He said, "When I was coming up," I said, "When you were coming up, but now we have growing up." Well, he's a nice old man. I like him because whenever you have a conversation with him, you know, it's always educative and advisable. That it's good to venture around him, and he would show you the way forward in life. So, folks, today is Thursday. Jala is not in, and I have to come on up to 5 o'clock on Bits and Pieces. Today we have several other things to talk about. We will be discussing several other things. Just in passing, A white man marry a dog. Yeah, a white man marry a dog in a leverage ceremony as he speaks outage on the internet or online. And then we will also look at the government of Liberia begins vehicle inspection today. Yeah, something very trending and interesting to know. Bulk of the drivers will be caught in violation, and they will want to be pardoned. And how is it possible when we will sit and criticize government that this is what happened, the government responsible, but then we don't want to be in full accordance to the law. Then President Joseph Boakai suspends Liberia Immigration Service Commissioner General. We're going to look at that one, and we will just look at this one in passing. The French President Emmanuel Macron asks if the EU is ready to defend European interests. This statement or question all bow to the president-elect Donald Trump of America, that he is being elected. He has been elected to protect the interests of the Americans. So he asking European as to whether they are in readiness to protect the interests of Europeans. Well, those are things on the itinerary. This afternoon, we're going to run through them. And by 4 o'clock, we are expecting guests from the African Methodist Episcopal University, and we're going to discuss a bit about education. Ishmael Menkit Sharif, a good friend of mine, will appear along with his team so we can discuss about some educational matters in Liberia or across Liberia right on the platform. And again, interestingly, we also have a report coming up from the LMDR, and we will highlight that report. And something veteran journalist John Cully will tell me, you got to listen to the report, and you got to prioritize, non-governmental issues, but it's important, not everything about politics. Yeah, that's always what he will go about advising me on. He said, not everything about politics. He said, sometimes you got to go human interest. Well, yeah, we go in more interest. So today we're going to go human interest as he sends a report from the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative, and it's all about from the 1960s Liberia experience. So we will look at that one there. I want to be talking like John Cully. We'll look at that one there. Yeah, he's a very experienced old man. So shortly we take a break, and we come back. We commence with the white man who married the dog. That's just going to be in passing, and we're going to acknowledge several persons who have come on to watch us via the internet. We're going to acknowledge them right here this afternoon. But before then, we take a break and come back.
Me P, producer.
Of Liberia, this time all the time. Showing allegiance, showing loyalty to this nation, Liberia.
Okay, so we say welcome again. The flag of Liberia has 3 colors, right? Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Then we also got the star. The flag color red stands for bravery. We all know the kind of way people die for our flag. And besides, in recognition of those who died during our civil war as well, though we gained the flag or we had the flag before the civil crisis, but it's also it's simple that people die in cold blood, to have these nations that we call Liberia. And then the white stand for purity. The purity is after the war, the bloody killing of each other. purity. You got to come back and unite with your friend and tell them that what happened for a reason, whatever reason it was for, and we have to let it be and come back. Then we move on as one citizen and one country. So the star within our flag also stands for a republic, and we all know a republic stands for an independent nation. That's Liberia is an independent nation. Just that, bulk of our things, when you want to put politics in there now, so we let it be. Then the blue stands for the black people. Yeah, the black continent of Africa. Liberia is part of the black continent, and we Liberians are black by color. And then the blue stands for our color, and the red stands for bravery. The white is purity, and the star is for the republic. So we want to say thank you again, and thanks for joining us. So today there are too many things happening across Liberia, and yesterday the African Methodist Episcopal University graduated several hundreds, of students, and they have been marketed. They now value on the world market. Some of whom are agriculturalists, some of whom are economists, some of whom are accountant, and you just name the rest. So after graduation, the next thing is, the parents will be so eager and happy to see the children getting job. But sometimes the economic status, can affect, the number of graduates we'll have in country. UL putting of graduate, Cottington, UMU, AMEU, Stella Maris, the AME Zion, the Advantage University, and all the community colleges in Liberia, the Bone County Technical College, the Grand Bassa County Community College, the Bombing County Community College as well. All of those colleges are putting up graduates. So it seems to be like we are now having more people on the world market that are marketable to do any other thing that we think, Liberia can depend on and be a better nation for all of us in this country. So we want to say congratulations to you guys who graduated from the AMU yesterday. We hope that things will be fine. Government will provide more jobs. If not, there are other private companies in the country. You can make your way there some way, somehow. Not everybody will depend on government job to survive. It's also prudent enough to accept that if you are qualified enough, mind you, all of these people who graduated yesterday are qualified, but it's interesting to know that not all of them are competent enough. Why? Because the job experience comes first. Like veteran journalist John Cully will tell you that if you don't have the experience for a job, and to have a job, you need to have an experience. So you are not volunteer for some time, like he was telling me yesterday. But then, so someone would think and say, I have gone to the university, spent 4 to 5 years, and have earned a degree, and then apply for a job, and they're asking me to have maybe the minimum should be like 3 years experience, 4 years, 5 years experience, and the person don't have. And you got somebody on the job who has a certificate but got more than 7, 8 years experience on the job. There where the volunteer comes about. So if you will volunteer, it gives you the leverage of time to learn, and have the experience on the job. And when you apply, people believe in the experience you got on the job. So many of you will drop down your eco and will work as a volunteer and will earn some ideas. Because once you earn ideas on the job, you think you learn, at the university. Practically, when you have knowledge on it, every company or NGO, even the government cycle, will have interest in hiring you. It's just that sometimes when government hiring people is by recommendation, but the competency matter most. Okay. So the GW Gibson graduating today, something that caused a serious blocking of traffic from the Houghton Avenue, or from the Houghton Avenue, or you want to consider the Queens Avenue, right around when you go in Jalatan, Houghton Avenue, the Queens Avenue right there, coming back to Houghton Avenue where the police barrier is located, and you want to drive through the Capitol bypass to Dunkin's gas station, the whole place, was been, blocked by people who have come to celebrate their children. And it's good when you have sent a child to school, you need to celebrate them and make them know that what they have acquired over the years, you are in support, of the learning process they ever went through. Yeah. So we're going to move on now. The man who married the dog. It's just a passing. We will just, look into it a bit. Then we pass by it. It's not actually our focus point this afternoon. We're going to look at it. Then later we will bring on the LMDI story. Okay. So the issue of this man marrying the dog has sparked up and bring out mixed views of people. In our setting today, the world is changing. Not everyone will take into consideration the way you think. Not everyone will take into consideration what you value. What you value tends to be less value to another person. And what less value to another person tends to be value to you. So the entire world right now is at a stage where people will want to do anything they feel they can do. That's why God himself said, man should have his will. And once you have your will, you are to do anything that pleases you. And once you do anything that pleases you, the next thing will be, you are not here to satisfy mankind. You are not here to satisfy man's desire. That's why you see sexual immorality, and then it has to do with the gay, man loving to man. You see woman loving to woman. Then certain group of people will come up and say, yes, this thing should be passed to law, and everybody, because once they say it should be passed to law, it means everyone should agree that yes, anybody is free of getting married to the same sex. That is, woman should marry woman, and man should marry woman. And in other people's setting, in other cultures, people will say it is forbidden. Yes, it is forbidden because of how you understand and accept it. Then others will say it is ridiculous. Yes, it is ridiculous as well. And then some will say it is against the religious practice. Yes, your religious practice does not call for that. But holistically, in Liberia, it is forbidden. Why? Because our culture does not call for that. In our setting in Liberia, anyone who is being associated with same-sex marriage or same-sex intimacy in our country, what will happen is that we all boo that person. Sometimes we will get vexed with the person in the environment. We will be mean to that person and think that the person is not part of us. That's the reason why you see when they talk about someone is involved into the same-sex marriage. In Liberia, like I told you, our culture does not call for that, right? So former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was being tried by the Western culture that the Westerners will go about agreeing for same-sex marriage, and they want to try it in Africa. You know why they always want to sometimes use Liberia as an example? Is because they think that we are very poor. We are poor by appearance, but by understanding and resources, I don't think our country is poor. No, the country is not poor from that aspect. From that direction, our country isn't poor, but our country is poor by appearance. Appearance that has to do with infrastructure, electricity, job creation, networking is very poor. But by resources, we are rich. And by mind, it's just, quite frustrating to understand and accept that some of our leaders will make the worst law for us to practice. Why? Because they will just grab it from the Western culture and bring it back to Liberia and want us to practice it. And it doesn't work like that. This is the reason why you see many of the leaders who will come on, they will be very skeptical. Like former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the issue of a gay right or same-sex marriage, I've been informed that she was called upon, and she said she's going to come back to Liberia, and such a decision. And let me tell you today, if any leader would take a unilateral decision to pass that into law in our country, that leader bound to fail. Why? Because the area you think you will find people, to protest against you, you wouldn't know where the crowd will come from to protest against you. And our culture does not call for that. Then people marrying animals. Animals? It's ridiculous. Very bad in our culture. We don't accept that. So now a white man getting married to a dog. Those of you who watching online, I wish our producer would come around so he can display the picture so you can read it and so you can see it and understand it. So just before we go through, the thing here is that both of us will have a doubt. Why is it that we are experiencing too many changes in our society today? Sometime health report will come. Sometimes there will be a deadly virus outbreak somewhere. Doctors will fight to get the source of the virus. Doctor will fight to get the cure of the virus, and it sometimes tends to be difficult. You know why? God, who created all of us, did not create us by mistakes. This is why if you do biology will tell you, say, there is no, in the process of reproduction, there is no sperm count to penetrate another animal and reproduce in same sex or production. That is, human being cannot have sex with dog and born dog or born human being. It can't work. Dog can also have sex with cat and expect the cat to born dog. It can't work. Chicken cannot have sex with dog or have sex with dog or goat. Then you expect them to have or born goat. No, it doesn't work. So God, who created all of us, created us on the basis of only the same creature produce that creature. That the reason you see us human being, we produce human being. Dog produce dog. Goat produce goat. So human being going out with dog, something might be wrong with the person. That's the person's desire, right? But there's no point in time where we talk about reproduction. You think that person will reproduce with a dog. It doesn't work. Under no circumstances, under no condition, it works. Why? Because according to biology, and now in the biology, God himself made it clear that only this creature produce creature by resembling and from the same kingdom. We human beings, we come from the human being kingdom. So we produce human being. Dog from the dog kingdom, dog produce dog. Reindeer come from reindeer kingdom. Now the reason you not see, you say, oh, reindeer can born elephant. Elephant will not born reindeer. So that's the wonder of God. So we human beings now on earth, we try to do our own things. And we are doing our own thing, but God has not approved what we think we are doing, despite he let us have our will. So we are living the way we think we are living. So the world is coming to an end. A man married door in leverage ceremony speaks outage online. And of course, a video circulating on Instagram has left viewers stoned, showing a white man getting married to a door in an elaborate wedding ceremony. It means a very big wedding ceremony that even held in a warm and supportive atmosphere with friends and family in attendance. The male friends were there, family members went there, to grace the occasion the same way Tiwa and Yuma will be getting married. Tiwa family will come, Yuma family will come. That's how they're telling us that the man family from both sides, everyone was in attendance. Yeah. So the marriage has sparked strong reactions and moral concern among social media users. So all of us, like we're using the internet, right? There are some things you see on the internet, and if you think it is not good, you have your that's why they have a comment section. You go there and comment, give your view and analysis on the issue. So Many of the people will go there to comment, and the comments are not too good enough. And bulk of the people commenting, they consider themselves to be a believers, strong follower of Christ. I don't want to restrict it to Christians or Muslims. If you are a follower of Christ, because from the various comments written can tell you that these people are commenting on how they feel and think about the man getting married to dog. In the video, the man is dressed in a suit, while the dog, his bra, is wearing a white brother gown. Yeah, that's true. They are seen embracing and smiling as the tie, the count, with guests looking on. The ceremony indulges positive energy. Yet, many online viewers are deeply disturbed by what they consider an extreme and controversial act. The video comes on the heels of another unusual viral clip on the first pregnant dad, where a transgender man shares his pregnancy experience while expecting a baby. You see what we talk about, the transgender. This one has to do with a man or a woman, let's say a man who lives his life and want them to change him to a woman and get pregnant. They say get pregnant, then you're expecting a baby girl. And see, so these incidents have sparked conversations about societal changes and boundaries, with many expressing disbelief and concern. Like I told you, many will have disbelief. Some will say this thing is not real. Some will say this person is going mad. And our society don't call for that in Liberia. That's why I think this morning I follow Sekou partly when he start talking about, the issue of gay. In Liberia, if you make yourself as a gay, we don't respect you. You appear funny. Yeah, why? Because our culture don't call for that. What is the essence of, you living the abundance women and following your friend man? What extra or different you think you want to get from your friend man? You join behind your friend man. So when Sekou was discussing it, this morning I tried to do research on the gay issue, same-sex marriage. People say, other countries will say, yeah, it's necessary, it's good. They got the right to do that. But in Liberia, you don't have the right because it's not by our law. You don't have the right. Social media reactions with regards to people who reacted to, these people. One of them will come on and say, I'm only bothered about those who gathered to witness that wedding. It means people who left their business here to come and stand there to grace the wedding. So the other person said they are bothered. What sense does it show? What moral lesson does it have? To leave your business schedule. What moral lesson does it have to come there and sit down, look at people? Let me say, I'm so grateful to Allah who chose me to be a Muslim. And you see what I told you, right? So it's not about Christian or Muslim, but if you are a believer of Christ, you condemn the kind of act because you know that it's against God. This is one reason why I think God destroyed Bomora. Yeah, the same-sex marriage. God destroyed Bomora because of the same-sex marriage. Woman getting married to woman, man getting married to man. And, God destroyed that whole nation because of this same-sex marriage. So if a nation stands to prioritize, such culture, that nation stands are bound to fall before God. Then another person will come and say, I'm so okay. The person say, I think he should be arrested. To me, that's not right and sounds like bestiality, which is illegal. Shame on him and his family. Another person's opinion. Another person comes on and say, the one who ordained them is the one I'm worried about, meaning the pastor. Normally when people getting married, pastor will come and pray for the wedding and people will go on with their normal activities, right? So the person saying the one who ordained them, meaning the door and the man, yeah. Another person comes on and say, so sad, end of the word. Yeah, the person saying end of the word. How do we determine to that the word has come to an end? It's the end of the word. The one you say come to an end, I mean, maybe tomorrow morning we can work as a judgment day. Then another person comes on and say, I don't blame him. I blame those attending who look confused and lost by their action. The action alone by gracing their wedding. Another person say the loss, and stuff. So why some found the incident assume Allah's voice concern, you know, some will say, it is a good thing. Others will say it is not a good one. But then, however, we all have to condemn the situation in a sense that it's not binding that you condemn it if you think it's necessary. But others will condemn because the world we live in, not everybody will accept the right that you think it is right. Some will accept it as wrong. So you condemn it if you think you believe in Christ who described Gomorrah of the same-sex marriage and going out with animals is ridiculous as well. If God will punish people of same-sex marriage, what about human being getting married to animals? Isn't that prudent enough? So I think it should be condemned. So that's it. That's just a passing. We move on to the line. Emmanuel, Honorable Emmanuel K. Blocon writes and say, good afternoon. Bill Gay writes and say, I'm following you from Grand Boxer County, Compound 3. And is this Marcreti Viney? Marcreti Viney writes and say, good afternoon, following from Gardnersville, Patient Shop, yeah. Ruben S.W. Topa writes and says, good afternoon, voice of Liberia. I'm watching from Looking Town, Vicky's Sport. Okay. Another person, Emmanuel J. Moldoba, he writes and say, hi, Emmanuel J. Moldoba, watching from Pipeline. Sonny Flomo, he said, good afternoon, Mr. Jua. Sonny S. Flomo is my name, watching you from Bone County, Phoebe, Espring Community. Okay. Those lawmakers call themselves majority blood need to respect our constitution. My man, and now what we talking here. The guys love politics nowadays. Solo Wakosia writes to say, good afternoon, watching you from my comfort zone, Gardnersville, New Georgia Estate. And Munya Sharif writes and say, good afternoon, Jala. No, not Jala, but good afternoon, Joa. I am following you from district number 9, Cinco, this afternoon from Matali. Thank you for joining us, Muya. And Morris Yuman writes and says, good afternoon, voice of Liberia family. I'm following from New Georgia Junction, Japan Freeway. This person, Son Paul Bao. Son Paul Bao writes and said, watching from my Jacotown Rehab Community resident. Thank you. And this person, Grialo Fevre Martin writes and says, I'm watching from the Douala General Market. Thank you for joining us. And this person, J. Samson Norman Jr. And say, good afternoon, Chief. I'm following you. And another person, Augustine, Austin Mello. Austin Mello writes and says, I'm following from Zwaju City, Grangida County. Thank you for joining us. And I'm informed that Magibi County is expected to be in Grangida County for the upcoming county meet. Something we are anticipating of being in Grangida. Let's say Grand Crew. We are thinking of covering not less than 3 or 4 venues of the National County Sports Meet. Okay, thank you all for coming on. We will continue to acknowledge those of you who have come on. So we're going to move on to another issue this afternoon, just in passing. We move on to the... Okay. We move on to the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiatives. The Rubber Development Conference, and veteran journalist John Cully will send me this clip, and you will have to know about this because it comes from the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative. In the 1960s, Liberia experienced remarkable boom in its economy. Such boom was said to be so high that at one time, the country ranked second fastest growing economy in the world. I want us to understand this one. Second fastest growing economy in the world. So it seems to be Liberia wants some power, but something gone wrong. We'll get there. So only second to Japan. Then Liberia mainly exported timber, rubber, and iron ore. So in the 1960s, as the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative will mention that Liberia was second or was ranked second fastest growing economy in the world, now in Africa. So they were the second to Japan. Japan was the first. So they then Liberia mainly exported. So but then when they consider Liberia as the second fastest growing economic country, it was when Liberia was exporting, Liberia was like exporting timber, our trees. We cut down those big logs. We cut it down. People saw it. We sent them out of the country. People gave us peanut. So the timber, the rubber, like Madam Swakoko, who initiated the coming of Firestone. Firestone came. They started planting rubbers. Later on, we saw the Salala Rubber Corporation, SRC. We saw LAP and many other companies coming in, exporting rubber material out of Liberia. And the iron ore, we had a lot of company. Bond mines was like mining the iron ore, transporting it from one place to another, and it was like too many companies were in Liberia. So the rubber was said to contribute hugely to the then booming economy. So the rubber, when they say rubber was said, that means the rubber was considered as one of the the then booming economy. Rubber was Liberia's highest export earning cash crops commodity. So like how we say cash crops, it means something that you can process before you consume. Cash crops, not something like you consume directly. So rubber now, in the 60s, rubber was considered as one of Liberia, highest commodity. So considering rubber, we had a lot of companies here. But then we had the Firestone, like I just named, Lab. We have Firestone, we have Lab, the SRC, and the list goes on. Then the iron ore, we had, I think, Lango, where the old people used to wash the cars with beer. I think Virgin John Colley can tell us about that. Yield, let's say, commodity yield, we good and exportations massive, but such boom in the rubber sector dropped decades ago, and the industry has been on a rather steadily decline. And so interested rubber development groups, and the Liberian government have been striving to revamp the sector. One of such groups is the Rubber Development Funds Incorporated, RDFR. The government and RDFR recently held Liberia's first all-inclusive national conference in decades on the rubber sector of Liberia, bringing together 200 delegates representing tens of thousands of rubber stakeholders across the nation. So you see, they now tell you that the RDFR, the Rubber Development Fund Incorporated, is an institution that helps the government as well. These institutions are in partnership with government because they are in a partnership. What they need, I think, will be just give them the leverage to operate. You give them the freedom to operate, and once they are operating, everything will be okay, and you will see that your economy will boom. And they're telling us that of recent, since a decade, I mean 10 years ago, we all know what a decade is. The RDFR recently had a meeting, the first all-inclusive national conference. So in a decade on the rubber sector of Liberia, bringing together 200 delegates. So 200 delegates could be Liberia representatives and representatives from different countries where the RDFR has branches or might have their support coming from, because some of the company or institutions will have people supporting them, and these people will now want to invest, and their investment will just go down the line. Yeah. So of the 200 delegates representing the tens of thousands of rubber stakeholders across the nation, the LMDR facilitated their proceedings. LMDR's John Colley reports. So John Colley now, he's a very sound old man. He's old now. He used to be young, but he's old now. So I will try to give you the, let me see. We got to do something here. The whole thing here, we're trying to work it out. Let's try how it all goes, right? Okay. So we're gonna see how best we can to let you know that you got to get the audio from the guys who represented the LMD. Let's say the initiatives comes from LMDR, and the 200. Is it 200? Yeah, the 200 delegates representing the tens of thousands across will have to speak to this issue, and the entire program. LMDI will have to cover the program or initiate the conference, and you have to give it a listen. And let's see how we can bring you this.
Start the National Conference on the Rubber Industry of Liberia, the first ever all-inclusive gathering of hundreds of Liberian rubber farmers and other stakeholders alike, opened with the chairman of the RDFR Board of Directors, Toba Moba, hinting the main purpose of the gathering at the Bon County Administration Building at Banga in central Liberia.
Liberia was on a world stage, a rubber producing country. Today, if you look on a website or any part of the world, you don't hear about Liberia. What have gone wrong? The acting executive director and I will visit the Ivory Coast, and they have gone far. I will stand today, they are number 3 in the world when it comes to rubber. Because what we have not done right, what went wrong, we call this conference to be able to get to the stage that we can be able to improve the sector.
The current Liberian government is headed by veteran agriculturist Joseph Yumamboakai. He was expected to address the event, but did not make it to the conference. The president rather sent his Minister of Agriculture, J. Alexander Nuta.
Some of you know that we've had Firestone in Liberia since 1926, but that was not the birth of rubber in this country. Rubber was introduced to Liberia in 1906, and it was 20 years later that Firestone came to play a major role. And from 1920, Firestone entered the rubber industry up to now. The truth of the matter is we've not seen much happening in our sector. It's not Firestone, but it is us as a country. We know in the earlier 50s, 60s, 70s, Firestone had the largest plantation in the world. Liberia had the largest plantation in the world. But do we say the same today? Rubber has been in Liberia since 1906. But in recent years, our productivity and national output of the sector has dropped dramatically. Value addition is taking place in Cote d'Ivoire. They are increasing their production. We are not doing that. Today, if you walk in the streets, you will see rubber products, but no Liberian buys any rubber product that is produced locally from Liberian rubber. The rubber that we grow here is exported, and they produce rubber and bring it to us, and we buy it. I'm not sure that's the Liberia that we want.
The National Conference on the Rubber Industry of Liberia saw many stakeholders in attendance, among them the processors. GT Rubber Liberia Limited Corporation, the newest on the block, revealed what has been a virtual no-go area for the traditional main processor, Firestone. Object Singh, GT Rubber Chief Executive Officer, declared that he plans to manufacture finished rubber products out of raw rubber for the first time in this country. This was to the exciting amazement of the more than 200 delegates in the audience who have yearned for such news in all of Liberia's existence.
Another major benefit of rubber is that we will lead into some sort of final product. Mr. Minister and other members on the dais and my farmers, I started this factory, which I'm currently owning, is a 5 tons capacity. I built this unit in 14 months. My other guests from every coast are sitting here. They can tell you cannot build a unit of 5 tons and operate in 14 months from beginning to end. If government supports me fully, I promise you, in next 18 months, Liberia will produce medical and surgical rubber gloves. I will produce it. And if I get the support of the government and the farmers and the quantity required, I will be the first person to make tires in this country. I'm challenging everybody just to support me. Give me the quantity of rubber I'm looking for, and I will do what I'm telling you.
In all of its sessions, the conference delegates dug out and discussed the impediments to the improvement of the rubber industry in Liberia and settled down to suggestions in their resolution for resuscitating the declining rubber industry of the country. Just about all issues perceived to be affecting the rubber industry were brought to the front burner in frank discussions, but talks alone have only eluded Liberia in just about all of its time of existence. Action is what is needed to change the rather grim situation in the fast declining rubber industry, and that is what the attending delegates and all of Liberia want. Don Colley, the LMDR, National Conference on the Rubber Industry of Liberia, Banga, Liberia.
Okay, so you listen to John Curley. You know, like I told you, he's a veteran journalist. And this thing is all about the rubber industry of our country. So he mentioned about Firestone. He talked about the government angle. He also talked about Jetty. And I listened to him. So he used a word called Jetty, the newest on the block. So I laugh. I said, oh, yeah. So John Curley and I will talk about the block. Yeah. So Jetty is the newest on the block in the rubber industry. Like he has, I'm informed that he has like 25 million, company worth of company he built in Magibi, and he has also purchased the then Salala Rubber Corporation, now Jetty. You know, when I was like naming those companies, that then used to contribute to the economies. SRC, Lab, Firestones, and he also talked about buying SRC. So he has purchased SRC, and he's telling us and challenging anyone or everyone to support him. That is, if Liberians will support him, he will produce tire in this country. If Liberians will support him, he will produce surgical glove, the one that people can use to do the surgery and thing, and the rubber glove and thing in a hospital, or the one the nurses can use. He will produce it here. And these things are produced from raw material. So not the recycling. The recycling, these slippers we're using, you gotta carry the Europe, the burn it, grind it, change it into different things. No. But in Liberia, he's telling us that if the government can support him, That means he will be able to produce a surgical glove here. He will produce how you call it, tire. And then the conference was being held in Banga, as John Kelly reported. So, folks, it's a good thing. We want to welcome the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative. It's a great deed, but let's get your reaction rather on the first two things we talk about mostly the robot industry. They sent for veteran agriculturalists, like John Kelly was saying, President Joseph Yuma Boakai, but he sent the agriculture minister, which is of no disrespect. Agriculture minister also need to be in such a gathering. The line is booming. We have not yet called the number, but let's talk to the person. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Joa.
Good afternoon,
Elwin.
sir. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, Joa, Elwin. This is David King. I do join you from Lower Marquee, District Number 1.
David, let's hear you.
I took interest in your discussion this afternoon. The first one has to do with man getting married to a dog. Joa, you don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that the world is coming to an end. For some of us that believe in biblical teaching, we understand that things are not normal these days, and some of the things that happen around us is due to the fact that the time of Christ is getting closer and closer every day. So all we need to do as people to get closer to God and look for salvation, not to always be lover of ourselves, or we should be lover of the gospel. And the second issue has to do with this Jati issue. Jati is doing well. Jati is doing well, and we need the government to give every necessary support. I would differ with you a little bit when you see veteran agriculturalist like Joseph Waka. Joseph Waka is not an agriculturalist. Joseph Waka has a discipline in business management. Joseph Waka is a businessman, not an agriculturalist. He has no history of being an agriculturalist. An agriculturalist would be somebody who will have all the things showing that he's an agriculturalist.
Listen, David King, the president served as a minister before for agriculture in our country. When we say veteran, listen now. When we say veteran, it means somebody who ventured into that sector before and has a deeper understanding on agriculture. That's the reason we call people veteran of that study or the field.
When you say veteran, what happened to the agriculture ministry at the time when you were spearheading the agriculture ministry?
No, not an issue.
It literally died down. All right. Rent that was paid by the American.
Thank you. We'll not go that route. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you join us?
Yeah, my name is Marvel Godo, and I'm joining a conversation from two communities.
Yeah, let's hear you, bro.
Yeah, the issue that I had to do with agriculture, I think people need to support Chetty. In so supporting, there should be a certain standard that will be set up. What the country will be, what will benefit. It should not be because everyone we are, we're following Liberia, we just accept any kind of agreement from Chetty because he want to employ certain citizens. There should be certain agreements, and we should not be able to be online like what happened.
So what's your recommendation? No, what's your recommendation now? If you say that certain agreement, you as a
citizen. Yeah, my recommendation is this: let us all rally around Chetty. Within the agreement, there should be certain things that Liberia will benefit.
What is
one of the things that suffering in Liberia is lack of patriotism. The law for country that was suffering of. The law for country that was suffering Liberia today. If I all your law for your country, everything that you do or every agreement will be in the interest of the country. It will not only be about yourself. Thank you for the time.
Okay. 0770-907-907, 0770-907-907. This person. Hello.
Thank you, Juad. A pleasant good afternoon, dear brother.
Good afternoon, Hussein.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Good to hear you on the radio this afternoon.
Thank you.
I want to appreciate you for the topic on discussion. So I just call in relation to the topic Like you talk about agriculture. You know, agriculture is a key sector in every country, more especially developed or developing countries. Because when you do this activity, you look around the world, you have countries who are developed or developing because of the agricultural, involvement. Somebody say the person is not an agriculturist. Like you corrected him. You don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that you have to have an agricultural background before you serve as an agriculture minister. Looking at the history of the Ministry of Agriculture, nobody was appointed where they don't have agricultural background. They have always had agricultural background. So that argument is very lazy. The issue of going back to the soil is very important. And I think all government, it is not even the work of the Ministry of Agriculture to produce. The sole or responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture is to provide policy and guidance for farmers. That's the first thing we need to understand. Are they providing the policies and farmer and resource for farmers in our country? That's a question that need to be answered. We have the soil, a very rich soil. Right?
But the government is also burdening on the government to go out and bring in investors.
Yes, you're right. You're right. It also the burden on the government to go and attract investment in the agricultural sector, because man, we need fertilizer, we need resource, serious resource centers that we got carried, right? But we have to have resource centers in every part of the country as to guide the farmers, do more research so that we can start to grow our own food. Can you imagine at the time Joseph Barker was at LPMC? I know people want to be political. LPMC become the bread basket, right? Local country, we were exporting food from here to Africa, cocoa and coffee. We become the higher exporter of cocoa and coffee in Africa. You understand? It was during the administration of Joseph Barker. Why? Because they were buying the cocoa and local produce from the local farmers in the various countries. They would process it, export it, and come back to the country and give loan to market there. That was the program we had here. Are we calling on our government to go back to that? The agricultural bank, we need to bring back the agricultural bank in Liberia. Those are things we need to be recommending to our government. But if not so, Jetty will build a bigger rubber factory in Liberia. We have Firestone here. What have Firestone done for us? So government needs to be strict to these concessions, those people who are coming in the era of investing in our country, to just do the needful for the people. Okay. Because mind you, if we cannot do that, like bro, we'll not move from one stage to another. So let us all recommend and pray. Like bro will succeed, I can tell anybody, but we have to take our time. We all have to do it together.
Thank you, Hussein. Let's talk to another person. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you join us from?
Abu, I want to tell me for the branch for the Bama, for the Montana Street.
Abu, let's hear you.
I'm
This Voice of Liberia. Voice of Liberia.
All right. Then this is my debut. I'm very interesting. Yeah. You know, my brother, I used to put it regularly. The thing I get it doing, such a thing that our father has been stable. The thing I get it doing for us in this country, they just want to have business. My brother, I know how many people should I on the generator when I was to go and get just started to go to a small place of it to live. How many just saying that there was just to say, I got to not go, they're not go. And there are only just look at one small cleaners between Levy and Tennessee called Amadia. Oh, just every time very just for you. What church out of just woman or couple of black men? Go to 1 million quite another money. What was that? You see all the still working. Last second will start. They'll get you food, they'll get you water. Although all of us said, if the government going here, you know, with Jetty, they more benefit of the people who have to run around Jetty. So people still practice there, nothing, what you got to do. All the four of us in America, they tell me all African countries, they tell me all of countries, they say four. Every Jetty wants to they want people to go with the Liberia, the government going to Liberia, but to be ready to get the law for this country and getting that. We're all the better into agriculture to produce. Let me say the last one of them, my brother. We all the food that for me, I'm you now. We know the time the agriculture thing, but yes, we know at the time the president now was sending our FPNC. Anything to agriculture minister, no time for project, but they want that thing. So we the stable the so for the other point that you see all the daily. They are not selling, they are job, we are dying not to the for the big always in the salad every day that you come. So they will put the way. So let's see now politics there, so that can help us. But we see now around the road, why our retail commanders carry a class of beer. One is a question as you have to do it. So everyone I get out, big party of Petaya, they were what teacher, they forget out the former employment for our fellow. So I don't want to say thank you.
Okay, thank you. This person on the line, let's see if we talk to this person. 0770-907-907, 0770-907-907. Shortly, we take one or two calls, then we go back and talk about the cash giveaway some more. We'll talk about the cash giveaway some more. Then we move on to our next talking point. 0770-907-907. This person. Hello. I can hear you. If you're hearing me, your phone seems to be the problem. Okay. And hello. No, I can't get you. That's all the time we pick calls for, and then we move on to our next talking point right here. Before we move on, we have to acknowledge a few of our people who have come on. CC Success, it says CC, let's say CDC Papi Success Keita for life. He comes on and say, good afternoon, voice of Liberia. I'm from Duporo. God bless. God please have mercy on JMB, Liberia. Jacob Kissable. Jacob Kissable. Kissable Guer. He said, good afternoon, voice of Liberia. I'm Jacob N. Guer, following from Sugar Hill Community, Banga City, Bone County. Thank you for joining us as well. And Morris Nima, good afternoon, voice of Liberia family. I'm following from my New Georgia Junction. So we'll continue to acknowledge people who are following, and of course, Joyous Kennedy. Was signed in 1847. Joyous Kennedy following from 13th Street, Kudmo Avenue. Thank you for joining us, Joyous. 10 minutes down, 3 o'clock. So we're here and we're going to move on to our next talking point. But before we move on, we want to inform you that the cash giveaway is being introduced. You can play now and be a successful winner of 10,000 Liberian dollars. You know, every Thursday on the cash giveaway, the Three Wise Men jackpot, we give out 10,000 every Thursday. So today is Thursday. We're giving out 10,000 Liberian dollars. And the jackpot today, the interesting part of it is that you play with 200 LD to stand a chance to win 10,000 Liberian dollars. And then the code is *799 *90# OK. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 and get in the draw to win yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars. Or you will like to understand the detail about the Three Wise Men jackpot. The play you're going to play today, you are going to be in the draw to win yourself iPhone Pro Max on the 28th of this month. So the play you play today will put you in the position to win the iPhone Pro Max on the 28th of this month. And then if you play one time, you are in the draw to win yourself 10,000. So if you play two times, you're in the draw to win bonus. The bonus will be 5,000 Liberian dollars, different from the 10,000. So the people who are eligible of winning the bonus will be people who will play double times. That means you play 2 times in row. If you play 2 times in row, you are qualified and you are in the draw for the bonus. Then when we do the draw for the bonus, you can win the bonus, and at the same time, your number still be in the draw for the 10,000. So if God blesses you, you will win the bonus and also win the regular. Winning the regular and the bonus are going to give you 15,000 Liberian dollars on your 200 or your 400 you play with, because 2 times is going to be like 400, right? So the code remain the same: star 799 star 90 hatch. You okay? Play with 200 Liberian dollars and get in the draw now to win. You play 2 times, you in the draw for the bonus, and you can play for the bonus. You be there for the bonus and for the regular. Star 799 star 90 hatch. You okay? The option will come. You play with LD or the US. With US, you're playing with $1.50. $1.50 put you in the draw to win the $51 US. Then it also places you in a position to win the bonus of $31 US. So you win in both $31 US and $51 US. And you see how interesting it is? Total going to be like $82 US you'll be walking away with. Yeah. So you give it a try now. As we come back, we will pick both the bonus and the winner. So you play today. Most of you women, you love iPhone. This is the shortcut to get your iPhone. If you don't have the 300 USD to go pay for the iPhone, the 150, the 200, the 600, the 1000 to pay for your iPhone, you can play with 200 LD here and get iPhone on the 28th of this month. Give it a try. You never try, you never know. Star 799 star 90 hatch. You okay? Play with your 200 Liberian dollars or your $1.50 and get in the draw to win yourself the iPhone. So you can be very lucky to win all 3. You can win the 5,000 bonus. You win the 10,000 regular. Your number will still be there. On the 28th, we can come out and also select you again for the iPhone Pro Max. And you see how it can be? When God above to bless you, nobody can stop it. Nobody can pull her to it. So we give it a try. We come back. We will start to pick our winners in row. Star 799 star 90 hatch. Okay. And just play with 200 LD or $1.50 and get in the draw to win yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars. Upon playing 2 times, you get in the draw for the bonus of 5,000. Upon playing 1 time or 2 times, you get in the draw for your iPhone Pro Max on the 28th of this month. The more you play, the more chance you have to win. So we give it a try. Huh? So if that is the case, we move on. We move on to this one just coming in, and we have to talk about this, right? Yeah, it is a breaking news anyway. A tragic incident as the NPP minister Nampos convoy reportedly hit a boar to death. In the tragic turn of event, a young boy has reportedly lost his life after being struck by the convoy of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prepare, popularly known as Nampo, a permanent member of the New Patriotic Party. The New Patriotic Party, NPP, is different from the National Patriotic Party. You got the National Patriotic Party and the New Patriotic Party, NPP, and Minister of Energy. According to eyewitnesses' accounts, the incident occurred during a convoy drive, leaving the community in shock and sorrow. Details surrounding the incident are still emerging. Yeah, but preliminary reports suggest that the child was hit as the convoy speed through a local area. The situation has raised concern about the safety protocols of political convoys, especially in a densely populated region. Yeah, authorities have yet to release an official statement and remains unclear if an investigation is underway to determine the circumstances leading to the boy's death. Meanwhile, residents and political observers have called for accountability and thorough probe to ensure justice is served. This heartbreaking incident has initiated conversations about the responsibility of public officials and the need to prioritize pedestrian safety in communities across Ghana. Okay, the one in Liberia, Ghana. Yeah, the new patriotic party happening in Ghana. Anyways, a new development happening in Ghana, and they're telling us that the low ball has passed off. So keep it running through as we come back. Yeah, star 799 star 90 hatch. Okay, play with your 200 Liberian dollars and get in the draw to win yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars. So the President Joseph Boakai suspends with immediate effect the Liberia Immigration Service Commissioner General. President Joseph Boakai has suspended with immediate effect the Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service (LIS), Stephen H.J. Zako, for improperly handling of official duties. He is suspended from duty without pay for a period of 3 months. During this suspension, Commissioner Zuka is required to turn over all official materials, assets, and office accessories to the Liberia Immigration Service Deputy Commissioner General for Administration, Mr. Elijah F. Rufus, who will assume responsibilities of the institution during the period. The suspension reflects President Joseph Boakai's commitment to upholding the highest standards of professionalism and accountability among public servants. President Boakai remains dedicated to strengthening the rule of law and reinforcing integrity within all public offices. The action serves as a reminder to all officials of government regarding their duty to serve with honor and diligence. Okay, this is a great thing. There are a few words we have to underline in the suspension. If the president will suspend the immigration commissioner and come out and talk about the suspension, he's been suspended for 3 months without pay. I think that usual thing. No institution, even the disabled community, will not suspend somebody and say you take pay. The group of 72nd will consider the group of 72nd will not suspend somebody and say they will pay you. You know, it doesn't work like that. Even the private sector will not suspend somebody and say you'll be taking pay. Leads to talk about an entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur would not suspend somebody and expect you to take pay. So once you see the president, they say the president is being suspended, we all know that the president will not take pay. So coming again, putting it down that the president is being suspended without pay, I don't think, you know, this sentence within the suspension is necessary. Why? Because once a president is suspended, you leave in your post for 3 months, you don't work in how you take pay. No, let me be real now. You don't work in how you take pay. We welcome the suspension, but how you take pay. Then another one has to do with this is a government institution. People can lie on people too much. People lie on people because they want to gain favor. So when a person is under investigation. I think in the governmental cycle, when a person is being suspended, clearly, I think it should be spread out that the person has been suspended for the handling of this one or for this one. You understand? Because on the executive mansion website, they talk about Zoka is being suspended for inappropriately. That's it. This one, they saying they one year for inappropriately handling of official duties. Inappropriately handling official duties. And then another, the one on the executive mansion website will also come on and tell you, say, he's suspended for accountability. So we will try to figure out inappropriately handling the affairs of the office and suspending for accountability. When we talk about accountability, what comes to our mind? It was not accountability, but it said he was being suspended for administrative reasons. The letter that is on the executive mansion website, they say the commissioner Stephen Zako is being suspended for administrative reasons. And when once is suspended for administrative reasons, I think sometimes administrative reasons, when a suspension is being taken, it can be sometimes taken for time definite. Time definite can go for 1 month, it can go for 2 months, it can go for 2 days, it can come for 1 day, 1 week, it can come back. Okay. But not in all cases. So if Zachary has been suspended for administrative reasons, now we got a report from Women News people. That's the Women Voices. Women Voices newspaper reporting that the mayor has been suspended for inappropriately handling the affairs of his office. Now, the issue here is, during this suspension, Commissioner Zoka is required to turn over all of his official materials, assets, and office accessory to the Liberia Immigration Service Deputy Commissioner for Administration, Elijah F. Rufus, who will assume responsibility of the institution during his period. And the suspension reflects President Bouakar's commitment to upholding the highest standards of professionalism and accountability among the public servants. Now, this is where we want to hold them. It's good. No one praising anybody to fall short at their job site. But if we will underline the word, the suspension reflects President Bouakar's commitment to upholding the highest standard of the professionalism and accountability among public servants. Then where we talk about section 5.8 of the Code of Conduct that talks about conflict of interest, that a person cannot hold a position in a political party and also be serving a government. The board chairman of the National Port, the NPA, the National Port Authority, the Unity Party chairman, who is serving, he's the Unity Party chairman. He's also at the same time serving as the chairman of the NPA. So had President Bouakar not read or understands that the National Port Authority board chairman is also the chairman of the Unity Party, had he not come to that understanding, had no one told him that Luther Tapia is the board chair for NPA and also at the same time the chair for the Unity Party, had no one told him? Because we're holding them responsible for what they stated in the suspension of the young man, whether the young man or the old man. They say the suspension reflects the president. So it means that if the president is being reminded of his own statement and commitment about holding the highest standards of professionalism, accountability among the public servants. Luther is one of the public servants. He is the chairperson or the chairman of the Unity Party, and he is also the board chair on the NPA, which violates clearly section 5.8 of the Code of Conduct, that you can be in active politics and be in government. It forbids any individual So the president, I want to know whether the president not in the know that Luther, and he was being appointed by the president as well. So I want to know as to whether the president don't know that Luther still holds a position of the Unity Party, and he appointed him as the NPA board chair, something that the youth league of the Unity Party who have a serious dissenting views about the appointment of Luther, something that sparked up serious argument and confusions about the youth leagues of the Unity Party. Now you're suspending somebody. Yes. I don't have issue of suspending somebody, but I'm holding the president accountable for misuse of words. We consider this one misuse of words. Yeah. You know why? We talk about the suspension reflects the president. So if this suspension reflects the president about holding up to standard the rules of law, then where did the mind of the president, or who are those that reminded the president that the young man from the LIS should be suspended? Because you know some of these things the president don't follow everything, right? There are people in the cycle of the president will remind the president that this person has violated this article, or this person has violated this one, or this person has committed this one, and the person, worth suspension. So who are those that recommended the suspension of Stephen Zako, the commissioner of the Liberia Immigration Service, to the president that he should be suspended for administrative reasons or for inappropriately handling the office affairs? Who are those recommended the suspension of the young man or this old man to the president that they can also recommend the suspension of Luther Tapper to the president? Because it violates the code of conduct. So now it bows to the government running on partiality. It runs on interest over the Constitution. So people who are within the cycle of the president will want to control the president because they think the president can listen to them. They think they are close associate to the president. So it means if you have been appointed by the president, you don't have the level of protection, because if you can have the connection, with the guys around the president, it means you are not protected. So various ministers, directors, I think it's prudent enough you cement your relationship with the people around the president than the president himself, because it's possible that they can override the president's decision. So if they recommend the suspension of Stephen Zako, I don't know Stephen in person, I don't know him from anywhere, but what draw my attention to the whole suspension has to do with, if you're preaching equity, you come with clean hands. You can say the president is holding on a standard of professionalism. That underline that word, professionalism. Anyone who is professional might work in accordance with the rules of law or the ethics of that institution. So if you are just saying Zako went against the ethics of the LIS, that's the reason you suspended him, fine. So what about Luther and the president, or whoever recommended Luther, the chairperson or the chairman for the Unity Party, and he is the board chair for the National Port Authority, the NPA. President has not suspended him. So how do we reconcile the suspension of the man from the LIS to the appointment and keeping in government of Luther Tapper from the Unity Party serving as a chairperson, violating section 5.8 of the Code of Conduct? It implies that Luther is a close friend to the president. He does anything he wants. And other people who are recommended to the president, I'm sure Stephen Zako was being recommended to the president. So if you're recommended to the president and you are not close to the associate of the president, the guys will just sit and recommend something to the president and say, suspend the other person. This is where people come in and say the president is not in full control. And that's not my argument whether the president is in full control. But my argument here is if the president is upholding something, let me re-emphasize. Something they will say, The suspension reflects the President Bouakar's commitment to upholding the highest standards of professionalism and accountability among public servants. So there's a serious contradiction there. Serious contradiction that we wouldn't take them seriously. If somebody come out with suspension, we just say they're running the government the way they feel they want to run it. Yeah. So the President Bouakar remains dedicated to strengthening the rule of law and the reinforcing integrity within all public offices. If you say so again, we underline that one. We say President Bouakar remains dedicated to strengthening the rule of law and reinforcing integrity within all public offices. We'll go back to the LACC. We'll go back to the Access Declaration. The serial appointees of government, very less number, declare access. Up to now, the president has not spoken about that. And if we're holding the president accountable, responsible to a higher standard of professionalism, we should also be asking him why is it that since then he had not responded to those he appointed. Because, you know, I'm not saying directly that the president should come and talk about a lawmaker who had not declared access, no, or a judiciary worker that has not declared access, no, because there are three branches of government. So the people who fall in his confirm, the people who fall in his confirms are the people we're talking about. So you talk about the executive, you got several other directors who did not declare access. The Eugene Falcon man from LBS, we yet to know his access. During his confirmation hearing, they asked him, have you declared access? He said no. Why? Oh, the judge appointed me. From here, I'll declare my access. Since then, we yet to know what Falcon has. We yet to know. President Bouakar is yet to respond to these criticisms about his government. But yet, he will suspend somebody from the LIS. I'm not against the suspension, but I'm against how the suspension is being given to the individual. And the underlying word in the suspension that the president is upholding standards of professionalism. Then you come on again and say the president, Bouakar, remains dedicated to strengthening the rule of law and reinforcing. And they think that not somebody just and say, yeah, it is of my will to say yes, I will declare my access. No, it is by law. It is by law, not the will of an individual to say yes. You sit and say, if I wish, I will declare. If not, I will not declare. So we yet to see. I just thought to bring some of these things, right? I'm not against the government. The Steven Zako man who is being suspended, I don't know him in person, but I just talked to hold the moral value where they mention about standard and professionalism. There I grab it from. Moral value of standard and professionalism. When you want to be standard, criteria should be served. When you will talk about professionalism, you know, the criteria should also be served and observed. So when you want to be moral, you go by the law and ethics. So you go by the law. So it means that certain group of people in the government, when they didn't like you, they will suspend you. That's how it implies. So it implies that they didn't like Steve Zako. Once they didn't like Steven Zako, they suspend Steven Zako for 3 months without pay. Yes. That one we know. When they suspend you, you are not to take pay. So the president is here to respond to the appointment of the board chairman, Luther Tapper, at the National Port Authority, and violating section 5.8 of the Code of Conduct, where they talk about you can be in active politics or holding a position with a political party or being in politics. That's the reason why they said the Code of Conduct. Before you contest, you should resign your position. And you see, so I don't see the government to really honor the Code of Conduct in 2029. This is something I'm envisioning. if right now things will be happening like this and we yet to have a redress, it means that in 2029, minister will just fly from the ministry and go contest in the district. A minister will fly from the ministry and go contest in the county. And trust me, mark my word today, don't be surprised. These things will happen. If we are at the early stage, we are not taking the precaution. We are not restricting or going by the rule of law. And we think that we're just taking office. Because everything you say, some of the United Party people will say, but the government just taking office. The government stay young. All that thing will ratify. We need to ratify them now before it gets too old. So if you can ratify those mistakes now, you will reach a point where you can make it alone. So it's going to be very difficult for us to survive. So I hold you right there. We move on to Junior Capwell. Junior Jekpa. Is it Jekpa? Jaykpah. Jekpa. He said, "Good morning, brother. I'm watching you from Minnesota, USA." So in America right now, that the morning time for him, brother. But they wanna the afternoon here for all. The song giving up Bengbe in Liberia. Then William W. Wulu, he said the Liberian civil rights movement official spokesperson is following from Upper Cowell. Good afternoon. William W. Wulu. Yeah. So that's it. I just talked to bring that. We're gonna move on, with this issue that has to do with the government. The government of Liberia begins vehicle inspection today. In Liberia, it is quite interesting to know that a lot of us can afford to buy the car, but to register the car, it turned to be very difficult. A question that I asked, I think, few months back, when the team of representatives from the Transport Ministry appeared here, where I asked them as to whether is it not prudent that every used car dealers in this country go in direct business or direct registration with the Transport Ministry. Hereby, if a car dealer is selling a vehicle, the person who is going to purchase that vehicle should process all of the documents through the car dealer from the Ministry of Transport. They said they are working on it, and up to now, we're still waiting. You know why I brought up that question is that, in life, the same way the various universities will come up with a criteria before enrolling, you might have passed their entrance. If you pass mathematics and pass English, you are eligible of entering the university. So every car dealer in the country, that means the Transport Ministry should be in direct communication with the National Port Authority, the Buchanan Port, the Freeport or the Freeport Monrovia, the Greenville Port, any other port that you think the people will bring car through, should be in direct communication with the Transport Ministry. The Liberian Immigration Service, or people who are at the various borders by land, to also be in direct communication with the Transport Ministry. And you know how it's going to be like? The Transport Ministry will inform all of its agents that before a car enters the country, the car dealer that is bringing the car in the country, which the lesson of that car dealer, every dealer should have a lesson. When each of these dealers have lesson, then you will know which car coming from this person used car garage or who is importing car. The person who is importing the car should process the car documents. The only space that will remain on the document will be the person who is going to purchase the car. You put the name there. So that place is going to be blank. When that happens between the transport ministry and the used car dealer, when the used car is being parked in the garage and someone went for it, all of the expenses you pass through to the port, you will add everything to the car press and have it sold to the person. That's a very clever way of generating revenue for government. So, because you know, many of the people will not have the chance to live from where in Nimba, to live from where Sino, to live from Grangy there, and come in Monrovia to say they come and register car. It doesn't happen. That's reality. It doesn't happen. So you're trying to bring out this regulation because you want to ease the tension. You want to ease the burden. You want to ease the irregularity. You want to ease the serious traffic you will cause when you talk about vehicle inspection. Because when you talk about vehicle inspection, Monrovia alone, like last week Friday, the traffic in Monrovia was too huge. Everywhere you pass, they had traffic there. So when I was going out, I have to pass through Jalatan. I thought, you know, I was baba in traffic. Not knowing we were going to sit in traffic. So when you do these things, the used car dealer will purchase the car that come into the country and have it registered with the transport ministry. The person who coming to buy the car, only coming to pay for your car now, you write their name on that receipt and give it to them. Everywhere they go, before a traffic officer or an agent from the Ministry of Transport, you present your document, they know that you are part of the rank and file. You go by your business. But I'm saying this to say the transport ministry has not been involved with that. So since they are not being involved with that, this regulation or inspection of vehicles has caused a lot of unnecessary traffic. Take for instance, if an ambulance was traveling from across, okay, let's take it from Vartan. Maybe somebody got sick. JFK sent the ambulance to Vartan. They put inspecting vehicles. And when they're inspecting vehicles, you can bear me witness, you know how jammy the traffic can be, how unconducive the traffic can be. So now people will sit in the traffic 2-3 hours. They're there. No going, no coming. You got to get vest and get down. If they're not your own car, you got to get down and get motorbike to go to where you want to go. So it costs a lot of, inconveniences for people. So why if the ambulance was traveling to JFK and Kinagus talked to Vartan, a patient is under an emergency situation, very tight, and needed to arrive at the hospital maybe in the next 30 minutes. The ambulance came and got stuck, plunged into traffic. Nowhere to come, nowhere to go. Because when the ambulance is traveling to JFK from Vartan, they will not want to use the Japan freeway to go back where to the 72nd Boulevard and get on the main boulevard and start to come. No, because the distance. So what they will want to do, they want to ride quickly through the bridge, get on Johnson Street, get on Broad Street, and get on bypass. From bypass, they can move now to single 20 or 21 Street. End of the route they will use to 20 Street, they get to JFK. But why if in that process the transport ministry is carrying on inspection, then the ambulance traveling, it will cause a serious problem for that patient. So I thought that the transport ministry should revamp. They should rethink. Other country, you don't see these kind of things. Before you buy a car, you might be prepared. The insurance, everything, you will get it from the car dealers. It's not only going to buy a car from the connoisseur. No, you buy everything from the dealers. The dealers will process all of the documents of that car And when you go to buy the car, you pay for everything from the dealers. Once you have your car now, anytime they ask you, yes, here is it. They give it to you, you probably go buy a business. Sure, you probably go buy a business. That's a sensible game. But they are not on top of the game. Another one is the aspect of government will be losing, and the government can lose more. I want to tell you this. A lot of cars in the street are not registered. So when you talk about inspection, the guys will take their cars from the street. They go and park it in the corner. And once they park their cars in the corner, the car in their garage, in the yard, you go there. So now what they will do, they will flat the tire, they flatten the 2 or 3 tires, take that and make it look like it's unmovable. So transport ministry, you don't have authority to go in the person yard, the person horsing fence, they got their 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. It's been parked in the yard. You don't have the authority to go tell the person, say, you got 3, 4, 5 cars. We have come to inspect the car. The first thing I'll tell you, say, my cars are unmovable. The first person tells you, my cars are unmovable. So once my cars are unmovable, you don't have the authority to come tell me, oh, we want to take your car from your fence and carry it. Where you carry my car? Where you want to carry my car? The police station? I think you carry my car. You don't. You don't have the authority. So the government will also be losing in that aspect. So what precaution and necessary measure that the transport ministry is trying to put in place to curtail the government from losing from these people who parking cars in their homes? Or are we just sitting on Facebook, the minister working on Facebook, when you write, say, yeah, then the bureau deputy and the assistant minister then run, your agents, or coordinator then run, the great director, the big director, that I think will make Liberia succeed. No, it's a fun, fair thing. Because many of the ministers, soon as they post on Facebook, what are concerning the ministry or not, the agents or the workers of the ministry see them running under that minister because they want to gain favor. The biggest minister, the untouchable minister, the minister of all time. What does that have to benefit our country? Untouchable minister who lacks the ideas of crafting policy. The unmovable minister who lacks the understanding of the ministry. But because you think he brought you close to him and gave you job, so you should praising him. So these things are working the growth of our country. That's why sometimes you say, oh, the government you say things are tough. In essence, that the government revenue is being tight. We are not really generating revenue from transport ministry because all of the ministries made report annually. It's not annually but quarterly. It's not quarterly but annually. They may report how much they generate. People have to be in the know. The LRA have to be in the know. So I'm just trying to make it understand. Say the very year you think the government of Liberia will go out to China say they didn't get money to get Liberia. Go to America say they didn't get money to get Liberia. Go to Germany say they didn't get money. Go to Kosovo they didn't get money. They go to what we have country is France say they didn't get money. You will come back here and you will depend on the revenue you have to generate in your country. So what are the strategies your ministers are putting in place, crafting, that the government can generate more revenue? Because just alone, we got some ministers in the country, their cars are not even registered. They are subsidizing the government. Let me tell you this one for free. Minister, they bring their windshield down, blasting our police officers as if the police is not doing their work. I've been several of them cars. You know, some of them, they don't want to put me on your car again, no problem. But I have sat with some of them, some government officials, when we engage the police and police stop them, and because some of them plying the screw that plate. Police stop them. Why you plying it? Move on, yeah, man. You know, I'm American. How can blah 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 blah? I mean, so they won't. Then police boy, yeah, carry on. You know, that one you made me laugh in the police. Carry on. Yeah. But you intimidating the police. Why? Because the police feel they are not safe if they will tell you say you're supposed to do the one. So you as a minister of the officer, you got the contact number of the police commissioner or director. You just call Do you know the other police? He has confronted me, and that director will be left with no alternative but rather to call whoever responsible for deployment. They say, you're taking that man from the street. And these things are not helping our society. It's killing our society greatly. And we got to desist from these things. Honestly, we'll have to desist. So the new downward report that the government begins a vehicle registration today. So we run through it. The Ministry of Transport, in collaboration with the Liberia National Fire Service, Liberia Revenue Authority, Drugs Enforcement Agency, and the Liberia Immigration Service jointly began a vigorous vehicle inspection today. And of course, at key locals across Monrovia. Speaking on Tuesday at Mika press briefing, Zulu Kokulo Duyen, head of the inspection team and assistant minister of transport for lane and rail, said the team's aim is to assist the Liberia National Police in enforcing traffic laws. The Inspector General at the Ministry of Transport, Africanos M. Famula, says the exercise is a joint effort involving stakeholders. Mr. Famula says that regardless of compliance status, all vehicle will be subjected to the same inspection process, which includes check on license plates, vehicle registration, and insurance, among other requirements. Getting the toy, I disagree with them strongly. I condemn them. It will not happen. The Inspector General of the Ministry, Africanos Formula, who can say regardless of compliance status, all vehicles will be subjected to the same inspection process, which includes check on license plates. You know, when both fly in the country without license plate, that thing, after today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, there will still be cars plying the street without license plates. Vehicle registration, there will still be car plying the street without registration. Insurance, that did that one, they did that one will go, among other requirements. According to him, the exercise meant to enhance road safety and ensure compliance with transportation regulations across the country. He adds that the focus is also on evaluating vehicles' roadworthiness, fire safety standards, and adherence to traffic laws. You know, they can come on and talk some Google things, right? But they will poorly perform in that aspect. Poorly. You know why? The area he talked about evaluating vehicles' roadworthiness. You know how many defective cars we got in the country? The last times I think they did inspection, I think if I'm making mistake, it was in, I think May, I said April, May, June. I think May to June. They did an inspection in the country. Yeah. Then every inspection they talk about roadworthiness. You know how many cars that can just break down in the middle of the road, they drive, leave it there and go. Yeah, man. Some of these things appears to be funny, but it's serious, right? You know how many cars will park? Some of the drive, it will break down in the middle of the road. Like of recent, we came from Loking Town. Kudu is my witness. Kudu and I came from Loking Town while driving back to town. In the scene Loking Town, when you pass around the Rita Sport area, there's an old 4Runner. The man just went, the car broke down. He just went and parked in the middle of the road. Small and congested that road is. So you could not find any means of bypassing that car. So the only small space that was there was for smaller cars to pass. Our security have to come down and push the car from the middle of the road So where is the Liberia National Police that are assigned to look in town, that right around there, they will remain sitting there, and a fellow will park the car in the middle of the road that they will not come in. They cause serious traffic, unnecessary traffic for the road users. Police will not come in, they will not talk anything. Then they come here now, they telling you say the inspection is to focus, on evaluating vehicles, roadworthiness, fire safety standards, and adherence of the traffic law. It doesn't work like that. So what will happen now is, if a car, this is the reason why some of the cars have been involved in accident. I'm not one of those who will pray for accident. I'm not associated with the demons or with demon, but sometimes the philosophy of life, if you understand the philosophy of life, you tend to live and prevent yourself for too many things. But people will tend to be like, maybe you want to take yourself pure, take yourself different. No. Many of our people are not educated to this. When you talk about roadworthiness, the tire on the car, it is the transport ministry and the Liberia National Police detail to come and observe, especially transport, to know how guaranteed the tires are on the car. So when these tires are not guaranteed on the car, the transport ministry that they will mention here, they are in collaboration. So a transport agent is not there, the police officer is bounding on them, especially the traffic inspector, to tell that driver that your tire on the car is not worth plying the street. We'll park your car and it will remain parking until you can buy new car tires and have them replaced. It will not happen. So most of the time you see the car plying the screen when the other accident occurs, they say, oh, the car tire fire. Why? Because it was not being deterred that the tire is an old tire on the car. Driver want to take that as an advantage. The tire can carry me and come back. Failing to realize that the life you carry, people you carry on your car, they got different things to cater to. But because you think you want to take it as an advantage, you want to go quick and come back because nobody embarrassing you. The people who we paying to inspect the car for us, especially the people who are not in the know about how a standard car should be on the traffic, they are less playing or less caring about the traffic vehicles. Then they come by and telling us, say, the inspection is about roadworthiness. That one on seriousness to the highest. Transport Ministry is not serious to even say this. They aren't. They come on and say they call James Blackie, Inspector General of the Liberia National Fire Service, knows that they will inspect vehicles for fire extinguishers and other essential safety equipment. Fire extinguishers. You know how many cars? Take, hey man, they think I'm talking. Some of you have roll cars many times and you can't find anything in the car like fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher will be the one when fire catch on the car, the paddle in the extinguisher can be used to off the fire immediately so that you can save the people on the car or you can even save your car. Many of the drivers will play less care. Why? Because they are not being educated to it. Many of the drivers will not go to driving school to understand the essence of having extinguisher on the car. They ain't educated. So if the drivers are not educated to it, it means they will not take it too much seriously. Yeah. So at the end, they will do anything they feel they can do. They just drive the car and get in the car and go. So you coming back now to say they will ensure that they got it, ensuring that they have it. Now the next thing here is, how many fire extinguishers do we have in the country? That's another question. So the fire service will tell you that, yeah, we got sufficient. The number of cars we got in the country, if we talk about bringing the number of fire extinguishers, you know how many warehouses you will fill? You know? So many of the warehouses will be filled with extinguishers. But then if you talk about just going through the purchasing of the extinguishers, this is where another black D and a crooked D will come from in the extinguishers inspection. They will give you a receipt and tell you that you have to go and pay for the extinguisher and go to a certain location and get your fire extinguisher. When you go there, every time you say, "Not arrive here," but you not pay the money already. Every time you go there, you say, "Not can you?" Every time you go there, you say, "Not can you?" And you see how the country sometimes can tend to be funny when you put funny people in your administration. Yeah. So the number of vehicles we got in the country, if you got the number of fire extinguishers in the country, you have too many warehouses filled. So if you carry on inspection now, how many extinguishers do we have at the moment? You say you want to check cars and people will have to buy the extinguishers. Yeah, we agree. Drivers are in the readiness to buy the extinguishers. But are they available? If yes, where are they? How effective? When can we get it? So there's another means. When you see some of the drivers can be lawless, some of the drivers will not want to obey and accept the rules from the traffic. It's because the very regulator of the traffic law is reckless, unnecessary, so inappropriate. So today, if a driver is being caught and say you don't have fire extinguisher, yeah, okay, I want a fire extinguisher. How much it cost? Is it $30 US, $25 US, $15 US? The driver is available to pay the money at the moment, but where is the extinguisher? They tell you, okay, go pay the money or bring the money. They give you a piece of paper. Go check the social store at social time, you will get it. Or check the fire service on Axman Street, you will get it. Check the fire service, maybe I think down Lynch Street or wherever, yeah, something like that, you will get it. But if you, I dare you, you will go there more than 5-10 times. They'll tell you the extinguisher not ready yet. Anytime you go there, say not can you. Anytime you go there, say not can you. So are you duping the driver? So does that not attempt to be a lie? It is a lie. So we need to be serious when we're regulating laws in our country. It's good to regulate the law, but you got to be an example. The police vehicle fly in the street. Do we have fire extinguisher? The police cars. Yeah, the traffic police, the regulating traffic. Do they have fire extinguishers? No. Go sit down with them. They didn't get it. I'm telling you. They'll tell you, oh, we got it, but they didn't get it. Then they come here, they say the official emphasized that the importance of maintaining road safety and preventing accidents, particularly as traffic volumes tropically increase during the Christmas holiday. The initiatives is part of an ongoing effort to improve public safety and reduce road-related incidents in Liberia. You know, some of these things are just fun, man. Seriously, some of the police vehicles don't even have fire extinguisher. That's not the issue, because police car when they feel a government car, government will buy a new one. Individual get their car, police demanding or fire service demanding to buy the fire extinguisher. Yes, they are willing to buy the fire extinguisher, but where can they get it? You get a piece of paper and say, go to social office at social time, you get it. I dare you, driver will run to that place 10-15 times. You can't get it. Every time you go there, say you're not ready yet. Every time you go there, say you're not ready yet, but they not take your money from you. So what kind of country is this? That's the reason why some drivers will not take them too seriously. So you talk about inspection, drivers say, make my car park it. Some driver will park their car. Some driver will run from 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. 7, they park their cars home. Some driver come by 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the night. They pick up because 9 o'clock in the night, you can be carrying inspection. Or 10 o'clock, they bring out their cars and run their traffic. Why? Because it's the same misunderstanding and irregularity from the same ministry or government officials who tend to be those to do the needful are not doing the necessary things. So you see, people want to do their own things. So we hold you there. We want to open the line shortly and get to reaction. So we're going to go to the cash giveaway to inform you. Star 799 star 90 hatch. Okay, play with $200 Liberian dollars and get in the draw to win yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars this afternoon. 0770-907-907, 0770-907-907, We get a reaction shortly. We come back and move on to our next talking point. This person. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Your name? Where you join us from?
This is David King. I do join you from the Round.
David, let's hear you.
Yeah. I heard you reading the letter concerning TV Zago.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard something about integrity. Does the government have integrity?
Oh, David King. Oh, David King. Oh, you're continuing to.
No. I'm asking. Look, you and I know that the government does not have anything called integrity. It is that on a book.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Walker told us that he will first declare asset before being sworn in.
Mm-hmm.
He did not do that. He didn't do it. He took office before they could even declare the asset. All right? And I listened to something you call rule of law. Do they believe in a rule of law? When the Supreme Court ruled in favor of 20 officials, Joseph Walker, as a president, he said he was going to upheld the position of the Supreme Court. One of the final, those people were suspended, and those very people who he appointed, he reappointed them there, and today they are sitting at LT, like generator, making money more than human beings who are working in the government and sacrificing.
Mm-hmm.
So the guys do not believe in the rule of law.
Okay.
And the next thing has to do with the fire service. I came in contact yesterday with transport people. My vehicle was stopped. I registered my vehicle since May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I got all the necessary documents. But then the fire service guy and I were talking. And my car was bought with a signature in it. So I told the guy, I say, my car has the own extinguisher, and he said the bottle in the cocaine. I said no, and we tried it. It is functional, but what he said to me was, I have to go to the office and purchase the one that fire service is offering. So I said no, but you talk to me, all right? So he said I have to buy the fire extinguisher to $5 for fire service, and they got something they call compliant certificate. And sticker for $5, compliance certificate is $15. Sticker is $5. So which one is the compliant? Because I believe the extinguisher is supposed to be the compliant.
Yeah.
But you telling me
once you got your extinguisher, I mean you are compliant.
Yeah, but then you tell me I'm going to get compliant certificate for $15. So this is broad day robbery. And let me tell you something, Joa.
Mm-hmm.
This thing that he got doing. And while we're having that discussion, I saw the police people that arrived on the scene and they started to shrug like acid. And sorry for the transport. They started beating on them, and that transport inspector ran away with my carry yesterday. Okay, I couldn't get my license because
the police. Listen, the police were beating the transport inspectors.
Yeah, the transport inspector yesterday.
For what?
They ran Saturday and they told them say they were not the ones who are authorized to do vehicle inspection. Yesterday they ran around the hospital. You can ask anybody to tell you that what happened yesterday.
Damn.
Even today they are there. They get in the street. They are not in the street. I went to that place twice a day. They know where to be for because I went in search of that fellow who took my license. So yesterday I was at the transport ministry trying to look around to get it. I don't know his name. I can't even have a video, stuff of him or recording of him. You see, so these are the kind of things that people just let on into. The government is disjointed. The government now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
David.
and they go and buy embarrassing people.
Okay, you made your point, David. Yeah, don't go too further. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
Yeah, your name and where you call it from. Okay, you are not too much serious. Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah, your name and where you join us from.
Okay, my name is Lawrence Sen. I do join you from the JP Freeway. Precisely Ghana Bell this evening.
Yeah, Lawrence, let's hear you.
Okay, thank you for your topic on the discussion. My attention has been drawn to two of your topic on the discussion.
Mhm.
For the code of conduct, that Article 5.8 has zero. Like for example, check it out good and clear amendment. Because it just tell me that, for example, you working somewhere, okay, for your shop in your community, then you are opportune to work in a store to be selling there, and then you come back to your community, you can sell your shop, and then people should get problem with it. I started to say that.
Okay, listen. That part of the Constitution, you know why they made it that way? They are saying if you want to work in the government, you should resign from the political post and be in government.
I know clearly. I know why you say that.
The reason is if you be me as chairman of the political party and give me a government job, you will want to just empower or employ all of your unity partisans instead of putting all of Liberians. Because once you have won the election, you are no longer a political party, but instead you are going to govern the entire country. So the Constitution telling you that if you are holding a key position in the political party, you might want to influence. It means everybody who you want to support you, who you want them to support you, will be the one you get job to. So the Constitution forbade that. So you should resign the political position and get the government position, or resign the government position and hold on the political position. That's the reason why they say Molu resign from the CDC, because all along you want a good job from CDC. CDC could not get any job because you're the chairman.
I know that the Constitution clearly stated that. But from my own understanding, I think it should be like if you are ministers or you are director, you are appointed by the president, you get no means to go and contest why you in that position. That one is clearly spelled out. Two, on Zago issues, on Zago issue is something that is hard to talk, but which my research, it has something to do with the act of corruption, because you can train people, you can recruit people, they go through vetting, they pass the test, they went for the medical test, everything. Then you look at it, keenly, you change, you bring different people on board. You have the way they sustain, I don't think it will be suspension, because you can suspend you. For example, you in the studio there, then you working there, the manager say you are on a suspension, but you must bring our article, you must bring our vest, you must bring all the microphone you have there. You will not take pay. Definitely, you are then expert from that place. So I don't think that Zago will come back in that setup. Thank you for giving me a platform.
Thank you. That's your opinion. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Am I better now?
Yeah, you okay? You live? Let's hear you.
All right. This is the voice of William S. Hans, and I'm phone from Car to West Georgia, Nephew. I listened to the previous caller before I left the line, and you were talking about the government being transparent or the belief in the rule of law. There are a lot of things in language. Let me tell you, my brother.
Hello? You said there are a lot of things.
I said there are a lot of things you said. There are a lot of allegations that you ran up with. Yeah, when you're on the line. You get it, yeah?
So you want to respond to him, or you want to talk to what we're talking here?
I want to talk to what you are discussing, most especially within the suspension of Steve.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, this is a government that has come to power, that has taken a lot of actions of government officials. You are a journalist. You have witnessed the government has done a lot of suspension. This government has suspended a lot of people without pay. People who are caught in corruption. This government has never, it will never back them, because Joe Brother is clear.
Okay, so listen, we are not disputing the fact that the government has not suspended people. We are referencing the issue of the Unity Party chairman, Luther Tappet, who is being appointed by the very president as a board chair of the NP, the National Port Authority, which forbids and go against the code of conduct. So we're asking now, how did the recommendation of Steve Zago suspension came about, when these people who recommended to the president to suspend Zago can also recommend the suspension of Luther Tappet? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you. On that note, The president was very clear during a cabinet meeting, right? He said to the government official, he said, those of guys that are holding party positions and that are holding government positions, you have to choose one. He was clear. This is a leader who is willing to do the right thing. Now, if the president gave them time, the president is still alive. He made the statement. And before you relinquish a party position, they got to take procedure, my brother. It doesn't happen right at the time. These things, most of those guys who are on party positions, they have conventions, they went through the rights for veterans, they have different procedures. So they are working on it. The Unity Party is working on it. Nobody will say that Secretary General, in person of the MD at the FPRC will remain as Secretary General. No. This is not a government who disrespect the president or their leader. They will definitely adhere to it.
Okay.
But what I tell the Liberian people, let me say something. This is a government that will see from the east. Do you know you have noticed the stable or reduction when it comes to gasoline in our country? When it comes to rest in our country, you know how many things are happening? This government has dismissed, this government has suspended. The previous government gave me 2 names that were ever suspended within 10 months. Give me anybody name that ever went to LSCC to declare the assets. Give me any government official of former President John Manuel Weah regime that ever went to do a job tax.
Nobody think, listen, be moderate. Hello. Be soft in your tune. Yeah, be soft in your tune. The reason why the people did not re-elect Joshua was because they did not declare their assets, they did not bring down gasoline price, they did not reduce rice price. That's the reason they never elected George Weah. So the reason they elected President Bwaga is because they had a thought that Bwaga will reduce gas price, will reduce rice price, will reduce all the other things. So don't be mentioning Weah now. We are administration gone. And that's only
no, the reason vote about the president, because when you are solving problem, you have all the root cause of the problem. Do you agree with me? You got to know the root cause of the problem. Most of those guys are coming on air to try to take it out.
So it means, listen, you got to know the root cause of the problem. So it means up to now, the Unity Party government had not discovered the root cause.
How when you say up to now, when some of those roots are observed and work on it, then you just mentioned gas price. You just mentioned gas price. You just mentioned the rule of law. Right? So it will take time. The only thing we're asking is for the better pay for free, my brother.
All right. Thank you. We got to talk to another person quickly because we got very limited time. Hello?
Yeah, you see, again, our people are now straight to the point. So Maggie appointed minister, so the leader Maggie resigned as chairman. He resigned for the chairman position. And Chairman Molu took over. Molu did not have a governmental job. Today you got Amon sitting at FPRC. You got Dr. Tebe sitting at Triple or Morovia. And this is why when we say the government lack moral, they lack it that way, then people get vexed. Because no civilized government that will say that will sit down and frequently violate the constitution of the land.
Okay.
Because Mr. Parker don't believe in the constitution, so all the ministers and directors don't also believe in the constitution. So because of that disbelief, they are proceeding the way they are proceeding.
Thank you.
It is wrong for our country.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Let's take this person, the last caller. Hello.
Good evening, my brother and friend.
Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, my name is Sarah Johnson. I pulled in from the JND and JKK Youth Allowance.
Yes,
yeah. This festival from Isaka when the town center. And let me say this category clear. And it comes to violating the organic law of the Republic of Liberia. I can't remember being surrendered by any Unity Party within the Republic of Liberia. Unity Party is only a party that respect principle. The matter will have some dissatisfaction. After will come to the disco with fake propaganda.
So who came on the disco? Who came to the disco? Fake propaganda.
I heard you making emphasis saying that the current party chairman who respect principle, where we read the chapter, is holding two positions and you have a biggest power. And let me say this kind of very clear to you, my brother friend.
Mm-hmm.
The Unity Party, when it comes to principle, implementation, Unity Party come number one.
So listen to me. Listen. Listen, I'll cut you off. Listen to me. I talk about Luther Tabel holding the party chairmanship and at the same time a board chairman of the NPA. Is that a lie?
Listen to me.
Is that a lie? No, listen. I don't want to tell you what to say. Yeah, don't come be. I know you control me. If you don't want to, then I cut you off. Is it a lie?
It's not misleading, but the issue is that the president said people have the biggest power. Yeah, it is true. But you know, they have a time. They have a time. Yeah.
Stop prolonging the whole discussion. The argument here is that Luther Tapper has violated, or let's say the President Joe Parker has violated the Constitution on grounds that appointing Luther Tapper, considering and given the fact that Luther Tapper holds the chairperson position of the Unity Party, violates Section 5.8 of the Code of Conduct. So it implies that they have violated the Code of Conduct. Then what's the argument? You say Unity Party can hold a rule of law. So what the rule of law there?
No, that different. That different.
No, they were not frank. They were not frank.
No, the reason we are saying there, let me say what the talk about. This is because you have the authority, but the issue is that the president said people should leverage for the party position, and that's what clear. And why expecting you to make any decision as a general and to say the president gives you so time frame, and they time frame are there expire, and operator we say seeing those people in party position. Amen. And they occupying their opponent. And let me say this.
Unfortunately, your thoughts will be very restricted and limited to what I think I have to talk here. I will not listen. No, but you're saying you expect me to say, oh, the president gave certain time. No, I'm not to tell you that one. We quoting Constitution. Then you telling me as you say the president say. The president is not going by the Constitution. He say as you say the president say. No. Okay, let agree and accept that we gave the president the time because he has the authority.
That's part of the conversation. That's part of the conversation. The issue is that during the past regime, can you remember that Jefferson was the senior party secretary?
No, listen to me.
Today, under the Joseph Newman Butler administration, we are trying to put things in order. We are trying to put things in order, my brother and friend.
But these are things that orchestrated the defeat of George Weah. So they said Jefferson was a party secretary and at the same time a city mayor. So because of that, we can re-elect President Weah, and they had him leaving the executive mansion. So because of that, you guys have come to correct the wrong. So you can be the same wrong. Then you think that you proceed right.
And which of course that we are doing, and we are correcting those errors that were portrayed in the past administration.
Thank you ever so much. That's all the call we can take for that segment. I think our guys are already in studio. Shortly we join them so we can discuss on educational matter right here. Ishmael Menkit, a good friend of mine, former class, is here a bit about into live segment. Liberia, those of you that this is 104.1. My name is Edwin Melvin. Juad on Bit and Peace and Shortly, recording a day on the presentation. Prince Mortimer writes that grateful hear voice of Liberia family. Thank you, Prince. And Junior comes home. Say good morning. Okay, he writes from the USA because the time in USA at the moment is the morning. And of course, Austin come on and say, I'm following from Virtue City Grand account. Thank you, Austin, for joining us. So we take just a mini break. We'll be back shortly.
surely evermore. His blood, Lord, showing light to this Liberia. If my people who are called by name, we humble ourselves to see my face, I will rise and give you Liberia will rise again. Nations will come to your mercy. I promise kingdom will come to your life. Together, keep up. Cause in your nation we will build a nation. Arise, Liberia, arise, whatever what Liberia is flying, going a pleasure to the
And indeed, we pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia, setting a great nation where all of us are equal right. It's just that the people will want to deprive Syria of us because we don't have the leverage. We don't have the leverage and ride the luxurious of car. However, God will help us one day things will get better. So we have a team from the mindset development, and Menke Jerry is a member of this mindset development. Of course, of recent, they have been involved in several other initiatives in the community, various schools. So we got them already. I'm like thinking that people could come and ice camera. HB is okay. Yeah, he will come, guys. Okay. So we want to say welcome, but before we go there, the cash giveaway is on. We're giving out 10,000 Liberian dollars. All you will have to do today is 5799 90 hash okay 200 Liberian dollars, or you play with $1.50 and get in the draw to win 10,000 Liberian dollars. When you playing 2 times, you in the draw to win a bonus of 5,000, and you also in the regular to win 10,000. And at the same time, you're in the regular for the iPhone Pro Max on the 28th of this month, November. Our women who are interested and found it very important in using iPhone, it's up to you. Ishmael, what's up? Speak to them.
I'm fine. I'm fine. How is it?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you great.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So great to see you.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
been a
you.
little while. A little while, huh?
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
we've been in all other activities.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're fine.
All right. That's great, man. Guys, I want to say you guys are welcome. You can speak to your mic and can you hear us? You can hear us?
No.
Okay. The guy that was the first part, they just try to handle the guys back there. Yeah. So Ishmael, what's up? Why I waiting for the guy at the time? What's up? How is the mindset development organization? How is it like?
Wow. It's fine. Like I said, before we go to, say thank you very much for the effort. You know, you guys are doing very well. Making sure that the people in the various communities and outside are informed. Thank you so much for that. You know, the mindset development program is is an organization that promoting the reading culture and reviving reading culture in Liberia. This is an organization, very new organization that actually are shaping the minds and developing the minds, uh, making young people to generate or develop that appetite for reading and have more interest in reading.
Okay, so that's good. So you talk about reading culture. You want to talk us a bit about the reading culture. We see the reading culture looks like in our setting, especially ranging from the primary, the secondary school, tertiary school. How's the culture? How can we consider culture to be?
Okay, before going to the point, it was yesterday in the morning time, portion of the evening. I watched this a debate from neighbor county. The students they were doing something like student council debate. I think it's trending all over the place. People are watching. Some people are giving feedback.
Yeah.
Yes. But the thing about that, debate, uh, I don't blame the students, right?
Mhm.
I blame the system that we have.
Okay.
Because the thing about it, uh, in fact, I even encourage the students for that level of courage and fearless presentation, even though they have some problems with eloquence, but then they were bold.
So
You could see,
they like display what they went for.
yes,
In a sense,
yes,
if you are in the faculty, they were very taught about it.
the thing, what I'm saying, don't blame the children for not really performing.
That's what I'm saying. It's because they are
Yes,
not being taught
exactly,
adequately.
exactly.
So the inappropriate way they were being taught is by the faculty.
By the
So,
faculty,
so you blame
yes.
the faculty.
Yes, blame the faculty and the system. So that's the reason I'm saying that Liberia is going to a whole lot, especially when it comes to reading. You understand? Because even mathematics doesn't require a whole lot, but you must be able to read the question, read the literature before you solve the problem. But then if you are not reading, the literature, you find it very difficult to solve a problem with mathematics. So
Okay.
everything about education is about reading. But in Liberia, we have this shortage of readers.
Yeah.
We have this shortage of readers. So from this very small level, that elementary level, right? Students must be able to get acquainted with the reading material. They must be able to develop the high level of reading. They must be able to scroll from the small level so that they can grow with, that
Action.
passion. They can grow with that development. They can have that reading development into them. So when they enter the university or graduate from high school, they will not find it difficult. So now, uh, in the very university, a whole lot of students are struggling to compose a sentence or, read a letter.
All right, let me leave you right there and come up with the guys that so they can use themselves. Yeah, let's start with you. Yeah, you. Yeah.
Yeah, valuing a
Mhm.
student of AMU studying banking and finance.
Speak to the mic. Mic close to you. Bring the mic close to you. Okay.
I said I value Kone,
Mm,
a student of AMU, semester one student,
okay.
major in finance economics. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So what interests you in reading?
Well,
Do you
yeah, I was introduced to the program by my colleague here, Ishmael. When he introduced me to the program, was amazed by it because so even though I'm studying banking, but I important is not just the students that we
okay, so you got interest in reading. Okay, that's great. So let's talk to you first, then Ibrahim.
I was a student of the AB University.
Mhm.
Studied communication. Enjoying academic.
Uh, okay. He said public administration minor. Let's hear you. Part of it.
Yeah, school is
Mm-hmm.
for taking
Mm-hmm.
major manner.
Okay, so great. Let's have all of you on. It's good to see young people, venturing into such, you know, initiatives. So great to hear all of you. We're going to talk about the reading aspect. We don't have time. I actually told each of you guys what yeah, sharp four or before. I want to give you an hour,
Oh,
but the time is
sir.
time is very limited. However, when we look at the industrial skill of reading in Liberia, somebody want to look at the interest. What you think can drive the interest of an individual to reading?
Yes, I think can drive an individual to the interest of reading is their goal. You
What a
see,
goal you think can be when a person
so
has
it
not,
depends on the person.
not digested the book, especially particular topic where you want to be glued to.
Yeah, so you have to have that. Let's say,
The first thing here is that
Okay, so
how can one be a good reader?
so let me address that. Uh, the brothers will come in. To be a good reader, you must have the passion for reading. Usually, people who really read, the voracious reader, what they do, they pass this attribute, right, to their children. When you are a reader, you make sure that your child read not only his lesson, but you must be able to at least give portion of book to that child to read. Maybe you pay him, maybe just encourage him to do more reading, right?
Yeah.
That is how reading is developed in most students. It's not really about the lesson, but then the parents or the teacher make sure that you don't torment the students or the child. Just create an avenue that that child will love to read. Pay the man to read, or give him money, or encourage him some kind of way that you always like to read when you are not around, or even when you are around.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great good ideas on reading. So we move on the interest. I'm still on the interest, right? Your name again.
Valikon.
Speak to the mic.
Valikon.
Valley. Okay, Connor, you want to talk about the interest of reading, where we got variety of books, especially the variety of subjects we studied in school. So one could be a mathematician and you're good at figure. How you think such person will have the anxiety or desire to read maybe English or literature? How could that be a help to the person?
Yes, that can be a help if the person want to improve their vocabulary as an individual, so that when you speak, people know that you have certain level of
So there are
education.
people who find it difficult in pronunciation.
Yes.
Some want to be on the room where no study class teacher. They want to practice on by themselves. How do you think when they come across the big worries?
Yeah,
How do you think it's easy to tackle?
yeah, that's a good question. So you can use my technique. Um,
What's the thing?
and when I'm reading a book and I come across word that I cannot pronounce well, I have a dictionary on my phone. So I'll go.
Unfortunately, not everyone has this.
So we are in a technological age.
Unfortunately, not everyone. Consider that.
Okay, then you
No,
say
no,
how
no, no. You consider that. Not everyone has, an Android phone.
okay.
Do you?
Yes, yes, yes.
So if so, someone who don't have an Android phone and trying to read, how do you think they will be able to pronounce some of the words, that they don't have anyone around? How
Yeah,
easy do you think it can
yeah,
be?
you can pronounce that word by going to your seniors in the community.
That's what I wanted to hear from you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because obviously, if you don't do something, you have to ask someone for an assistance.
Yes, that's you.
Okay, so the mindset for development, and we move on to the colleague right here. Tell us, in totality, the mindset. What is the goal of the mindset development?
Well,
Your mic, I don't know. The technician got to come back in there. Yeah, talk here.
you know, look, firstly,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
No. Okay. Just yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you're going to speak to us about the goal of the mindset for development. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You like.
Look, well, the mindset, the goal, for the mindset of developments has to do with, firstly, changing the narrative, um, our education system within, Liberians, right? For the past, let's say, the previous decades ago or so, the former president of the Republic of Liberia said our education system was a complete mess. So we decided, to change that entire orientations, to sway away that ideas, to monster up, the courage that indeed what she ordered was completely different. So
She said Liberian
education was a
mess.
complete mess.
It's a mess.
Yes, that was what she said.
Do you agree with that?
Well, partly, I don't want to be held to ransom, but
No, you have your opinion.
yes, of course, yes, but I don't want to be held to ransom.
Disagree. It doesn't
Yes,
mean everybody to look at you that you
I'm
say you
coming. I'm coming. Yes, yes. Then at the time she said so, I think she was right at the time. At the time she said so, she was right because for now, I think the dynamic is changing. I think that was why the brothers Ishmael and Jerry came up with the ideas. For us to formulate, come together to see how best, for us to change that orientation. To sway away that utterances, so at least we can bring a formidable change within the education system.
Okay, so you guys have joined to change the mindset.
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's a great thing. So your goal is to change the mindset. How is it going to be impactful, or how is it going to impact the lives of the children, especially in the elementary schools?
Well, that is why in moving, let's say, so using, let's say, doing the door-to-door methodology. That is going to those, tell them, those that are living in the slums. I mean, the Hope Boys, telling them how important, how important it is for one to read, because the more you read, the more you discover something new. Yes, and readers are travelers. So be it was because on that backdrops, we go to places, tell them about the importance of readings in various institutions. Like recently on our campus, that is the AMEU, we hosted beautiful programs where we invited some sister schools, the University of Liberia, the AME Science, and many others, telling them about the importance of readings. Yes, and again, if to shift on the other side, people coming here, we were also on the shore of Muslim Congress, having some dialogue, a convivial exchange with students, you know, having a silence reading sessions, a symposium. Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay, that's a good initiative. So what we want to understand too as well, in everything we do, sometimes we talk about the gender balance, right? So women in our society, most are like the shy, and in some of the institutions, they are, being given that leverage of time, but you don't see much of them, the average of women, perform or being involved in our activities these days. How the mindset development is taken into consideration to mold, especially in the process of letting people minds open to reading.
You want to say something?
Yes, let me deal with this.
Okay.
You know, I think we started this thing from the community, right? So for the community level, we actually we gathered the young children in the community to teach them how to read, right? We use a whole lot of strategies. So then, like you said, the girls, we are very careful of them, especially into this particular program. They are in their majority, but then they don't have the guts to participate. So when they are in the process, right? The first thing we do, we don't look at the pronunciation. We announce this. We know the women, they find it difficult, especially to participate in the kind of program. But then we encourage women to take advantage of this program and be more active into it. We are not looking at eloquence. We're not looking at your, brilliance. We are looking at your understanding. So how do we do for all students to participate? We give a book, right? We provide the books. All of the students will read, and you critique the book. You understand? For now, the school we just formed, the Muslim Congress, a whole lot of the women, the girls that participated into it, they were very brilliant. A whole lot of they participated excellently.
They're extremely well.
Well, you understand? We also did that, and to encourage them more, right? We are now okay. To encourage the females, I don't want to dwell on the female more because one thing I'm looking at. Check out where I'm not hearing myself.
Yeah, talk.
Okay, one thing I'm looking at, the females, they are in their majority, even in the classes, in the community, everywhere around, right? And now the entire community focus on this female equation, gender balance, and all of that. But then, they're also forgetting about this, men shortage into our system. Men shortage. Men are shorting into the process, into the system, the society. Women are getting more. You understand? And the society now focus on more women than men. So we are saying to say, everyone is invited into this program. Is open, right? We have encouraged a whole lot of women, a whole lot of schools, convent now. They are interested into the process to the extent they invited us to go to the place to have our next program on their campus. And convent is, dominant most women schools. Yes. And just like everyone is endorsing the program and a whole lot of women, they are liking the program in order to be part of it and build not only their reading skills, but their speaking skills and shaping their mind for the world.
Okay, it's a good thing anyway. So I'm reading this person comment. Let me read it. This person say instead of just telling children to read for the sake of reading, human experience, it works best when you create some kind of spiritual hunger for reading, when you attach a goal like finding answers to the questions your children are asking. Say, for example, your child asks why there is so much poverty in countries, let's say in Africa. Sorry to boast this for me. Yeah, though I'm using classes. And this coming from Roden Carpenter. In last name spelled Carpenter, Carpenter, Roland Carpenter, you know. And he keeps down making, he said, for example, your children ask why there is so much poverty in Africa, uh, where's America and Western cultures are known to be a prudent or what if instead of just giving your child a script or you meant to say a straightforward answer, why don't you try to get a book? Yeah, anyway, yeah, that's what he's trying to say anyway. But I think he's trying to say maybe something like he's going to be practical.
Yes, he's also
I think that,
supporting, every other thing we are saying here. He's a veteran. I know him. He's our veteran. And, yeah, he's a very good leader. He's a savage leader.
Okay.
Yes. So he's saying to say Africa is poor because we lack of readers. So if you have more readers, Africa wouldn't be to where it is. Because I told someone the reason you see Liberia is struggling is because Liberia lacks readers. And we have a whole lot of resources. Liberia is rich. But then we lack the people who be able to identify those resources.
Okay, so that's a good thing and it's up for fair, and it's obvious a lot of people graduate today that can, and then it doesn't mean they don't understand issues. They understand issues, but a lot of graduate can be. How the mindset development is trying to tackle and engage or involve with people who have graduated. Mind you, some have graduated and want to take themselves to be like, I have graduated already. So I don't think the student that somebody will come and tell me how to read, but how the mindset development is trying to tackle, the situation where somebody, who graduated from maybe a secondary or a university cannot read well, how the organization is trying to tackle, that aspect to alleviate people from such limbo.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. Okay, I don't want to say we're gonna be, let's say, a flippant speaker saying that we're gonna solve the entire problem straight away, right? Because in every, let's say, systems of solving problems, there should be a stages and there should be a steps. That is why we thought it wise that we come back, let's say, from the grassroots, from primary schools, and those that are now within the school system, that is, be it the secondary schools or those that are within university, at least we can polish up, their reading culture. Yeah, so before their graduation
So
process.
there's no plan for people who have graduated.
Well, I guess that, but we're hoping to do so. We will do that. We see how best, we can also organize a team.
Do you see it possible?
Oh yes, of course, we can achieve that. We can achieve it. We can achieve that. We can achieve it.
How?
Well, when we shall have already achieved, right? When we shall have already achieved the listing now on our steps, that is tackling those within the elementary schools and the secondary schools, that is those that also in the university sectors, because we don't want to be a flippant promises, right? To say something that we're going to tackle everything at once. No, we don't want to do so, but we're going to do it systematically.
So we have a threshold, and so like the brother said, we are not doing everything for one time. We got to do it bit by bit. So for now, our target is the community, university, high school. So when you are in a community, you are in high school, you are in university, you will benefit from this particular project.
So symposiums is one of those gathering or aspects of bringing a large sum of people together from diverse views or backgrounds that will understand, and a person will let go, give them the understanding about these things. According to you, you've been on various campuses, you've been on the AMU and some high schools. How are you intending to organize a symposium where you will have different schools coming from various communities and some university students as well? How are you intending to organize, a very big symposium? Everyone will gather there and will change ideas, and will benefit something. At the end of the day, they all will know that about to read.
Okay, then we already having a team. We have team from different areas. We have the community team. We have the team from the university. We also have a team in high schools. So what we do is this: we go to the high school. We have a program there. After the program, we're keeping those students, into a chat room to continue, interacting with them. At the university too as well, in the community as well. One thing we are planning to do is during the new year or in January or February, we are planning to have a mass program to gather all the students, everyone participating in the program, so that we can only read, we should see each other, to know one another, to connect with each other, and educate each other about, share our stories with one another. What are some of the network? What are some of the things you have read, you have benefited so far? How our program impact into your life? How you are making contribution to the society? How are you contributing? How what kind of impact you're making, right? Everyone will tell their story, like we always do. We have the program. We open the platform so that people can be able to inspire one another, right? To tell each other how the program can help, how this program can grow, right? People will be able to explain, and also educate one another about the community
So let me talk to the other guy there. Let me talk to the other guy there, maybe because of time, we not talk everything. Yeah. So, what is the next plan? I'm asking you now. What is the next plan for the mindset development? What next are we to do? What are our next plan?
Yeah. Our next plan.
Your name, your name?
Yeah, my name is Sekou if you call it.
Sekou Kone?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, what is the next plan of the mindset development? Maybe after here, what next will happen?
Our next plan is to move to each school to encourage students to read because entrepreneur.
Degree?
Yeah.
So, what book particularly you could are reading? Because in reading, they got various books. You know, they will have literature. They have like literature vocabulary.
For instance, for me, I'm good at math,
Right.
math student.
Oh, you are a science student.
Yeah.
Okay.
Art, math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I can try
Chemistry.
yeah. One thing to stay for people, I can be sharp.
Okay.
And also, PSKP in former pro Ishmael and Ibrahim invite me to be part of this organization. So to promote.
So you see improvement. Are you seeing improvement?
Yeah, every place they call me, we encourage me, and also make me to take a fear from my body. I'm grateful for that. And also, I see lotteries are because my territory is still in high school is lack of freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all so much. We want to say thank you. Can you say your name?
Sigo if you call it.
All right, Sigo. Thank you. Let's get back to the regular guys. Then I think the time now, yeah, we're to wrap it up because I think I expected you guys long ago, yeah, long ago. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up one by one. You give us a parting statement because of time. Yeah, your name and tell us your parting statement. Your encouragement, a lot encourage the people listening to you. We can open the line because of time. Time already against.
Oh yeah, so for me to conclude, someone made a statement on your screen, you're reading from your screen, right?
Yeah.
And a person made a statement if or a kid asks his or her parent why Africa is poor, and we have the worst poor rich, right? Something like that. So my statement is that for those that are listening, I would encourage you to read a book Why Europe Cannot Develop Africa. It is a book, you can find it online. Um, I want to give it a number, so
Yeah,
maybe
look, it's up to you.
Okay.
You want people to call you
My number is 07761245525. You can text me on
Somewhere
WhatsApp.
again, you call it one time, they will not get you.
My number is 07761245525. You can text me on WhatsApp so that I can send you the soft copy of the book. It's very good. It opens your mind about our system, our education system, education of subordination, and you know how we can improve from where we are now and for the next future.
You say your name again.
Valley MCon.
Thank you all so much for joining us. So we hear from you too. Yeah. So let's hear from you quickly. Then we get to each mail. Yeah, you live.
Yeah, you can hear me now? Yeah. Yes, my party will be it's good for us to get ourselves involved with readings, yes, because the more you read, the more you know about happenings. The more you read, the more you address the contemporary issues. So, in other words, the more you develop or you inculcate that attitude or developing that culture of readings, honestly, you go to places that you will discover things that beyond what you've already beyond what you expected. So meaning it unlock your mindset and also show you a new direction, that helps bring possible solutions to contemporary issues.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Ibrahim Teacher.
Okay, Brian. Let's hear you, man. Finally.
Okay, so finally, I want to say this to all of the parents, everyone on my voice, that they should always encourage their students' children to read. Because reading is very fun. Like the brother say, it makes you travel to people to place where you've never been before. Like this quotation that I'd love so much that the person who doesn't read, has no advantage on the person who cannot read. So this means that when you are educated and cannot read, it means you are of no importance than a person who is not educated or who is cannot read at all. You understand? So we are saying this to say to everyone to the place there, uh, our door is open. This thing is free. We are not taking money from anyone. You just need to tell us that you have interest, you have the school, you have a university, you have the program, or whatever it is. Call to the place, we organize the program, we educate the people, we have veterans, good readers. How are the children going to develop it? We have somebody to teach the strategies and tactics of reading. And we also believe that the children to the place will perform well going forward. So thank you very much for hosting us here. We know we come very late, came late, but then we hope to have another one here that we all will have a very long time on the program. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, Mr. Menke Cherry, a good friend of mine. Thank you ever so much. Well, you listen to my colleagues, my guests. They all come from the African Methodist Episcopal University in Kamchuchen Road, and they also come from the Mindset Development Organization Initiative to develop the minds, build the kids up for reading. Too many of us can read, and that's reality. However, folks, this has been bits and pieces on the radio from 2 to 5 o'clock. I have been Edwin Melvin Jua. And of course, we take break and resume 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon when I shall be here again to drop you to as we will go for the weekend on tomorrow. Until then, I've been Edwin Melvin Jua. Have a great time together.
The white stone of test is for purity. The star is for republic.